Junior number 1. And another guard spot, another junior number 10, Lizzie Aldridge. Another guard for the Dukes this afternoon, a senior number 13, Karen Howard. Another guard spot, a sophomore number 20, Hannah Myers. And the other guard spot, sophomore 22, Stella Cole. The Dukes are coached by Mr. Brandon Collins.
And it's good. Your Dukes are on the board first. North brings it up top after breaking the press. Over to the left wing. York sticking their traditional full court press. And now switch to man. The Dukes fell short last time in this matchup, 43-31, but they're looking to rebound here. There's been some changes to the starting lineup. It's a little bit of a different look for the Dukes, but looking to make a difference this time. DGN over to the corner. The Trojans taking their time. And there's a break in the defense. York gets the ball back. Lizzie Baldridge brings it up for the Dukes. Over to the sophomore, Stella Cole on the wing. Back to Baldridge. Nice crossover, works her way into the paint, and a great block by the Trojans. Dukes already running a much faster paced offense than the Trojans. Downers Grove North really not just settling for what the Dukes are giving them. It looks so far, Gross and Wendt are going to be your two main guards for Downers Grove North today, working at the top of the offense. There's Gross at the point, over to Wendt, working inside. And finishes. It is 3-2 still, your Dukes. Baldridge over to Myers. Myers over to Powers. Over to Cole. Tough mid-range shot, and it falls. Great shot by Stella Cole, the sophomore, and your Dukes are up 5-2. Dukes running a little bit softer for press than they did off that first possession, allowing DGN to about work up the half court and making it a little tougher. Over to Wendt. Back to Gross. Gross back over to Wendt, the right wing. DGN moving the ball very slowly so far in offense, not attacking the hoop often. There's Went. Works into the paint. Tough fadeaway shot that's short. Rebound Parker. Over to Gross. Back to Went. Back to Parker in the right corner. Nice crossover. Great defense by Myers, but it looks like we're going to get a blocking foul. It's going to stay on the floor, and that's going to be DGN ball still. And then checking in for the Dukes, the freshman, Anna Filosa, subs in for the sophomore, Hannah Myers. Filosa's sister of York Duke great, Brian Filosa, one of the best punt returners in the conference. And you're going to get a foul on Mary Amber last year on Gross, but it looks like it's going to stay on the floor and stick with DGN. And we're going to have our first timeout of the game so far for DGN, and we'll get back to you at the end of the timeout. And we are back from our 30-second timeout. The Dukes are going to stick with the same lineup they started with when the timeout hit. They're now Filosa, Cole, Powers, Baldridge, and Blass. And no changes for the DGN Trojans. And there's your first three of the game for the Trojans. Kaylin Parker, it is a tie game, 5-5, with 3:30 left in the first. Cole, nice drive inside. Just misses the tough finish. But, Baldridge is able to get her rebound over to Filosa on the wing. Back over to Blass at the point. Something we're going to say a lot of today. Great move by Blass. Over to Filosa, the freshman for three. And it is good. We are going back and forth from behind the arc right now, and it is 8-5 your Dukes. Gross to Went again. That's Margaret Fleming on the right wing there. Back to Gross. Over to Went. Inside. Great defense by the freshman. DGN is able to get their own rebound, though. Over to Gross. Gross for three. Just off. And a rebound by Stella Cole. And Baldridge is going to bring it up for the Dukes. Blass over to the freshman. Filosa over to Powers, over to Cole. Cole gets hung up a little bit, over to Blass at the top. Tough three by Cole, just in and out. Great rebound by the only senior on the Dukes team, Aaron Powers. And that is going to be a foul on what looks like Ryan Went for the Trojans, and Stella Cole's going to be shooting. And checking in for the game for the Trojans, number 30, Ellis Seebeck. Cole not able to finish a free throw, so it's going to be the Trojans coming down on offense. And the Dukes getting into a tough trap here, and it looks like it's going to force a turnover after a little bit of miscommunication by the Trojans, and the Dukes are going to get it right back. You're going to have Filosa to inbound to Baldridge for the Dukes. Baldridge bringing it up. Cole to the freshman. Almost settled for the tough three, not going to take it. Back to the point at Baldridge. Baldridge. That's going to be Aaron Powers, the senior, just off. Rebound Parker for the Trojans. Duke's switching to a much tougher trap right here for the Trojans, making it hard for them to bring it up. That's going to be Went at the point. Seems like we almost have a switch in the guard position. Now we're going to have Specht and Went running the point instead of Gross and what it was before. Oh, they're going to have Went hit another three for the Trojans. This is going to be 8-8. Great move by Baldridge. Over to Cole on the wing. And that's good. Cole for three. This is a shootout right now between these two teams. Cole already on the board with 5. Tough defense by Blast and Baldridge bringing it up. Trojans working to the right. Great steal by Blast. She's going to kick it over to Cole. Tough shot by Blast. Isn't going to fall. Baldridge able to get a rebound. We're going to have a 3 here for Filosa. And that is the freshman's second 3 of the game. And it is going to be a 4-point play for the Dukes. That is incredible composure for a freshman to hit that. Not easy to make those shots with the hand in your face. And your Dukes are going to have a chance for a 4-point play. Well, that free throw is going to be off. Duke so far 0 for 3 from the free throw line right now. Not something you want to start the game off with. Oh, that's going to be a tough pass. Going to slip through the hands of Specht. Over to Parker, though. Back to Went. Oh, and almost a tough finish, but she's going to go to the foul line. Tough foul call there on Powers. 2 shots at the charity stripe. And Wentz able to nail both. Closing the gap to 4 between the Trojans, although we're going to have a last shot right here. Tough shot by Baldridge, and it's not going to fall. Your Dukes are going to go into the end of the first quarter up 4, playing a much more aggressive style of defense than the Trojans. Seems like it wore off a little bit there towards the end, but the Dukes are pretty much taking everything that the Trojans are giving them right now, and they're finishing. Besides not being able to finish at the charity stripe, the Dukes are hitting from deep, and they're creating chances. It's impressive. But we're going to get back to you once the second quarter begins. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to the Trojans versus the Dukes. Both teams sticking with the same lineup as the score remains 14-10. Your Dukes. We're going to have Baldridge bringing it up. Over to Cole. Back to Baldridge. And that's a great block by the Trojans, but the Dukes are going to play heavy press. It's worked fairly well against the Trojans, forcing about 2 turnovers so far as Parker kicks it over to Went. Over to Gross in the corner. Trojans still playing a very passive offense right now. Oh, great block by Baldridge to recover there. Swatch Parker's mid-range, but it's going to remain Trojan ball as we're going to have a substitution coming in for Specht. Sadly, I do not think we have a number 1 listed on the roster, so that is my apologies if I'm not able to get that name correct, but we do not have a number 1 listed on the Downers Grove North roster. Although she's going to take a 3 right now, and she's just going to ring in and out. And a little miscommunication there for the Dukes, and it looks like it's going to remain Trojan ball after the missed 3. Up to the top. Went. Over to Gross. Inside the paint. Back out to the 3. Over to Gross. And we have some Downers Grove North fans getting a little impatient about the pace that the Downers Grove North Trojans are running with, and it's not surprising. It's very slow so far. This is a Downers Grove North team that, in every fact of the way, dominated this Dukes team last time in the 12-point win. You're going to have Gross for 3 right here, and it's going to miss. Great, tough rebound by Powers. Cole's going to bring it up. Dukes are controlling pretty much every facet of the game so far. It's been wildly successful. Baldridge's going to make a tough move, get inside, and finish with the left hand. Your Dukes are up 16-10, and they're going to remain in this heavy press. You're going to have one throw it up over to Fleming. And it looks like DGN's going to settle again after breaking the press. Over to Parker. Parker tries to feed it inside to Gross. Gross working on Blast. Great defense by Blast and a great block. Although it's going to remain Trojan ball. We're going to have 2 substitutions. We're going to have Hannah Myers return to the game for the freshman. And then looks like Katie Sosa going into the game for Aaron Powers. That 3's going to be off. Rebound for Sosa almost immediately. The forward's going to bring the ball up, although kick it out to Myers on the left wing. It's going to find Cole at the top right of the arc. Oh, and that's going to be a miss. But we're going to have Went bringing it up for DGN. And York playing a little passive in the traffic. It looks like he might have had her in a pickle. Although Gross is going to be over in the corner. Kicks it out over to Parker. Back to Went. Back to Parker. Back to Parker again. Over to Went. To number 1. Gross in the corner, not going to take it. She's going to settle for the tough layup, and it's going to ring in and out. Great defense recover there by Baldridge. Rather take that foul in the bucket, and DGN's going to be going to the line for 2. Gross is going to hit the first one, and we're going to have a substitution here for the Trojans. Number 40, Kyla Wilkerson checking in for Parker. Gross for a second shot at the line. And that's going to be off to the left. Sosa with the rebound, already got 2 after checking in. And Baldridge is going to bring that up for the Dukes. Over the Blast on the right wing. Ooh, makes a great move. Settles for the tough mid-range and just misses. Great move to create some space there. We're at Blast and Baldridge working the point well again on defense. Myers with a quick closeout. Wilkerson over to Went. Went back out to Wilkerson on the right wing. Back to Went. Went's going to take the corner 3. That's going to be way off. The sophomore Myers with the rebound. Decides to bring it up for the Dukes. Looks like she has Baldridge on the left wing. She's going to take the tough 3. And that's going to be just off, and it's going to be a rebound for the Trojans. After both teams seem pretty automatic from 3, we got a little bit of a dry spell here. Went on the right wing. Over to Gross. Myers guarding. Back to Went at the point. Trojans really playing passive, although they're going to try and crit a shot there. Great defense by the Dukes to close out. Great defense on Cole. My bad, for Cole. And they're going to force a turnover. DGN has very much struggled to break this defense so far for the Dukes. They've been able to work the press pretty well, but once they've gotten down past the half-court line, it seems like it's stalled a little bit. But we're going to get back to you after this 30-second timeout. Your Dukes lead 16-11 with 3:55 left in the second. And welcome back. Looks like we are going to have no substitutions here for the Dukes and none for the Trojans. As after that 30-second timeout, it's going to be 16-11 still, your Dukes. As they kick it over to Blast on the corner. Blast trying to work up top, over to Myers on the wing. Makes a great move on Wilkerson. Back to Colt to three-point arc. Sosa. Over to Baldridge. Great crossover by Blast right there. Trying to find a shot. Can't find anything. Baldridge, great move inside. Able to finish after taking the baseline. Your Dukes are up 7 right now with 3 minutes left in the second. Moving into more of a lenient press. Looks like they're just playing man at about 3/4 of the court as we're going to get a blocking foul on Blast right here. Parker's going to check back into the game, and for the first time, we're going to have Wendt come out of the game for the Trojans. And then we're going to have Powers check back into the game for the Dukes. And for the first time today, Blast is going to check out for the Dukes. Back to Parker at the top. Tough move inside by Parker. Not able to finish. Oh, and a tough foul call there on Baldridge, but your Trojans are going to go to the line for 2. Looks like Eleanor Harris. The freshman for the Dukes, Julia Filosa, is going to check back into the game for Katie Sosa. Baldridge still running the point here for the Dukes. Over to the sophomore, Myers on the wing. Back to Baldridge. Tough move inside. Oh, and just misses. It's going to be a rebound, Trojans. Back to Parker at the top. Trojans trying to work that left wing. Great move by Harris. Back to Parker. Great closeout defense so far by the Dukes, not giving the Trojans any space to take the 3 that it seems like they so desperately want. Parker back on the wing. There's some space for a 3, and that's going to be off. Rebound Baldridge. Baldridge's been all over the floor today. She's going to make a tough pass to Powers. Back to Myers on the left wing. And back to Baldridge on the wing. Nice behind the back move over to Powers. Powers is able to find some space inside and almost draw the N1, but she's going to go to the line for 2 and try and grow this lead to 8 for the Dukes. And yet again, the Dukes are able to go 0 for 2 from the charity stripe. You're going to have Baldridge sub out for the first time today. And then you're going to have Angelina Downer-Rappelling coming in for Baldridge. Over to Gross on the wing. A little trouble with the pass. Great defense by Powers. Over to Fleming. Back to Gross. Gross now running the point since one is subbed out. So now it's over to Parker on the left wing. Over to Gross on the left wing. A little trouble with the pass there, and that's going to be a steal for the Dukes. And then they're going to throw it away, but not for creating a turnover. Trojans bring it up over to Parker on the left wing again. Trojans really trying to work that left wing. And now it looks like it's shifting to the right a little bit. Gross. Trojans really trying to cloud the side of the court with the ball right now. Trying to work that zone. Fleming back to Gross. 34 seconds left. Tough three taken by Gross, and it's going to fall. It's going to be 18-15 now, your Dukes. As we have Myers bringing up for the Dukes now. Over to Cole. Had a great game so far. Tough pass inside. And a great finish right there by Angelina. And at the end of your first half, after falling short by 12 the last time these two teams met, your Dukes are going to be up 5. They've been able to control the pace, control the defense, control the offense. Everything they've settled with have been high percentage shots, and they just seem like the more mature team right now. So I'm going to get back to you once the second half concludes, or once this first half concludes. I'm Charlie Specht, and thanks for tuning in. Welcome back, everyone, to your Dukes of York versus the Downs Grove North Trojans. Your Dukes going to start the second half with a 5-point lead, and they're going to be sticking with their starting lineup. As you have a great rebound there by Hannah Myers. Hustling down the right wing right now. And they're going to settle back up top with Baldridge. Looks like they're trying to find Blast for an open shot right now. Over to Cole, the sophomore in the left wing. Finds Powers. Great job keeping your pivot foot right there. Over to Baldridge on the right wing. Back to Cole. Cole back up to Baldridge at the point. Baldridge over to the senior Powers. Powers over on the right wing to Cole, the sophomore. And we're going to have a block right there on number 31 for the Downs Grove North Trojans, Eleanor Harris. Your first foul of the second half. Myers inbound for the Dukes. Trying to find Powers, but moves it back up the top. And the Dukes look like they're going to reset on offense with Baldridge. Over to Cole. Cole finds, my apologies, almost finds Blast. Pass was a little bit behind, but it's going to be tipped out of bounds. It's going to remain with York. Great play drawn up right there for the Dukes to try and find the open man. They've been trying to find Blast the last 2 minutes. But it's going to go back to Cole over on the left wing. It's Powers on the left block. Myers on the left wing. Crossover. Tries to get inside, but it's going to go back to Powers. Then Cole. Cole over to Baldridge. Works on Gross, but it's going to be a great block right there by Went, who's having a hell of a day. Went over to Gross. Tough shot for Gross. And she's going to get fouled, and it's going to be an and one for the Trojans. One of the first breaks today we've seen in the Dukes defense, allowing them to get inside. Almost all of the Trojans' points have came from beyond the arc. It's going to be Gross at the charity stripe to try and finish the three-point play. And she's going to finish the three-point play, and the lead is going to close to 2. Although you're going to have the freshman come back in, Filosa for Baldridge. And it seems like she might be running the point. Although DGN's going to switch into what looked like it was going to be a full-court press, but looks like it's just Parker man marking. That's going to go over to Cole on the right wing. Back to Blast. Blast trying to work on Gross. Back to the sophomore. Over to Cole. Cole over to Blast. Tough three. And it's going to go in and out. It's going to be a rebound for the Trojans. Would have been a tough bucket right there by Blast. She's hit those before. Duke's really working that half-court trap right now. Great defense by Cole. Oh. It's going to be a tough call for the Dukes there, but it's going to be on the floor, and it's going to remain Trojan ball. It's going to be one on the right wing. Over to Gross. Tough defense by Blast. And it's going to be another foul call on the Dukes. Really stepping up the aggressiveness this half. And so far hasn't paid, but it could wear down that Trojan team. As coming back in the game for the Dukes, you're going to have probably the tallest player in the court right now, Katie Sosa, coming in for Blast. And it looks like Filosa's going to really have to command this offense at the point. Going to go over to Went. Fleming to Parker. Back to Went. Finds Parker in the left corner. Parker's going to take the three. It's going to be just off. Great rebound, Fleming, for the Trojans. Duke's unable to capitalize there on the miss. A tough shot by Went. That's going to be way off. It looks... And after their third shot attempt of the possession, DGN's going to finish with the three, and for the first time today, they're going to take a lead. And we're going to have a 30-second timeout call right there for the Dukes. So far in the second half, it doesn't seem like this aggressiveness so far has paid off for the Dukes, but it worked really well for them early on in the game, so I would not be shocked if the Dukes reclaim their lead right now. But going into this 30-second timeout, 4:54 left in the third, your Dukes for the first time today are going to be trailing by 1. And we are back from our 30-second timeout. There's going to be no substitutions made for either team as of right now. And it looks like actually the sophomore Myers is going to be working the point as it goes over to Filosa on the wing. Back to Cole. Cole finds great pass inside of Filosa. Filosa just off on the finish, but the Dukes are finding opportunities in this DGN defense. Palmer on the left wing, Parker on the left wing, my apologies. Over to Gross in the corner, that's an open 3. That's way off. Great rebound, Cole. She's had a hell of a day so far. Cole finds Myers on the right corner, tough 3, and that's gonna fall. Probably the toughest shot today for the Dukes is they're gonna immediately go into an aggressive full court trap. It looks like Sosa forgot to mark, but Trojans are gonna slowly be able to break it, and they're gonna need to settle into an offense. And it seems like we've already got a momentum shift after that 3. As the Trojans, who were just playing a really aggressive style of offense, are really being patient now. Back over to Went. Guarded by Sosa. Looks like you got a serious forward guard match right there. She's going to beat it. And that's going to be a really tough finish right there for the Trojans. She's going to go to the line to try and finish the 3-point play and give the Trojans back the lead. And after that 30-second timeout, we are back. And Went's going to try and finish the 3-point play here. Give the Trojans their second lead of the day. And make your score 24-23. And Went's going to hit it. And it's going to be the sophomore Myers bringing it up for the Dukes. Filosa, tough pass across court to Cole. Cole able to find a hole inside. Over to the senior Powers. Powers not able to find anything. Finds Cole, however. Cole, tough move inside. Just unable to finish. And the ball's going to be going down with Downers Grove North. As Blast and Baldridge, your 2 starting guards, are going to check back in for, it looks like, Myers and the senior Powers. Seems like so far in the second half, the only thing the Dukes have struggled with is finishing. They've found opportunities and just not able to finish at the hoop. Over to Parker on the right wing. Great closeout defense by the freshman. Over to Went. Went trying to work on Baldridge. Over to Gross. Gross not able to find anything. Great defense by the freshman. Over to Fleming. Airballs to three, but it's going to be rebound Parker. And it's a great bucket by Gross, but what seems like what the Dukes were dominating the first half was hustle plays and rebounds. And that's the second time so far in the second half. Troy's been able to create second chance opportunities. However, great finish by Cole, something we've said a lot of today. She's going to have 7 points so far, about halfway through the third. Went trying to find space inside. Great defense by Cole, and she's going to get a block. And the freshman brings it up. Over to Junior Blast, and not able to connect. It's going to be Trojan ball as they have a 1-point lead here. The Dukes seem to be allowing DGN to move up to half court even though they're set in that full court trap. Looks like they're playing about a 3-2 zone as of right now. With Cole and Downer in the paint. Went trying to find space. Great defense by the Dukes. Oh, she's going to find Parker on the right corner. It's going to be off. And another offensive rebound by the Trojans, though. It's going to remain a jump ball and it's going to stay with the Dukes. But the Trojans still fighting to get second chance opportunities on offense. Baldridge bringing it up over to Cole. To the freshman Filosa. Back to Baldridge, trying to work on Gross. Back to Blast, working on Wentz, something we said a lot of today. Cole, over to Filosa. Tough three by Filosa. And that is pretty unbelievable. As a freshman, this is an incredibly impressive game so far. That's a tough three. Blast trying to stop Went. Isn't able to. Went trying to work inside. Finds Gross in the right corner. And that's also going to be good. We are going back and forth like we did at the beginning of the first year with 45 seconds left in the third as the Trojans take the lead back 29-28. Filosa on the left wing. Back to Blast. Trying to find space on Wayne. Great pass inside to Cole. And there's going to be a foul on the Trojans. Cole's going to go to the line for two. And hoping to make the first free throw today for the Dukes. Could give them back their 1-point lead. Senior Powers is going to come in the game for Downer. As Cole is able to connect on a free throw, we are going to have a tie game with about 30 seconds left here in the third. Somehow able to find Parker almost completely across the court. Blast on Went. Now Baldridge on Went. Over to Gross. Tough three. That's off. And a great rebound for the Dukes. 5 seconds left. Gonna have last shot here. Over to Blast. Blast gonna have to take a tough three. And it's gonna fall off the backboard at the buzzer. And your Dukes are gonna take a 3-point lead going into the fourth. We'll be back at the start of the fourth quarter. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Charlie Specht for YSN. And we are back for the start of the fourth quarter between your Dukes of York versus the Trojans of Downs Grove North. As the Trojans are going to start on offense, trailing by 3. And right off the bat, Gross is able to get inside, draw the foul, and finish. As is Marion Blass's 4th foul, which is major for the Dukes as of right now. And it looks like we're going to have Myers check in for her. Gross looking to tie the game. And she will. Baldridge's going to bring it up for the Dukes. We are locked on the scoreboard right now. 32-32. It looks like what was a tough foul on the Trojans is not going to get called. And it looks like the ball's just going to bounce off one of the Trojans' arms, and it's going to remain with the Dukes. Myers to inbound. And Myers finds Baldridge at the point. She's going to look to her right and hit Myers. Over to the senior Powers. Powers over to the freshman Filosa. Senior to freshman connection. Not something you hear often. Cole loses it for a second but gets it back. Back to the freshman Filosa. Over to Myers. Back to Cole. Having a hell of a day so far. Cole to Myers. Filosa to Baldridge. Baldridge's going to take the 3. It's going to be off. It's going to be rebound Trojans. Dukes, what seems like abandoning the full court press, sticking in half court, somehow finds Gross wide open in the left corner. And she's going to hit the 3. Baldridge, although hustling up the court right now, finds Cole. Cole trying to find an open shot quickly. But the Dukes are going to reset. And Baldridge is going to hit Myers on the right wing. Powers almost lost it, was able to recover. Powers to Baldridge. York taking their time right now, trailing by 3 with 6 minutes left in the game. And they'll hit Myers. Myers able to find Cole after the pick and roll. Great move by Cole. And just misses a tough rebound, Powers. There's a block for the Trojans. Tough rebound by Baldridge after the block. Cole is somehow able to find Cole. Cole is going to hit the 3. One of the crazier sequences we've seen in this game. And this game has not been a lack of crazy sequences. And your Dukes are going to be able to tie the game at 35 as Cole hits 11 points on the day. And it looks like you're going to have a reach. Oh, my apologies, a blocking foul on Myers. As Specht's going to come into the game for what looks like Fleming. And Went yet again going to run the point for the Trojans as she goes over to Gross. Gross back to Went. Over to Specht. Parker on the right wing. Tough defense. DGN really taking their time, waiting for something to open up. Looks like they're going to try and find a 3 right here for Parker. No, she's going to give it back to Went. Went trying to find something inside. Great no-foul defense by the Dukes, but Went's going to be able to get it to fall. As Baldridge hustles up and down the court. Looks like she's going to have a one-on-one right here, too. Great Euro step. It is going to miss off the backboard as she tries and jumps for her rebound. Parker on the left wing. Over to Gross. Gross, tough 3. And it's going to fall. And it seems like the momentum from what seemed almost right in the middle is now going to be shifting in the Trojans' way as they take the 5-point lead, and you're going to have a 30-second timeout call for the Dukes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Your Dukes are going to bring it up, trailing by 5. But you're going to have Blast check back into the game for what looks like Myers. As Cole trying to work to the right wing. Finds Filosa. Filosa just off on the 3. It looked like from this angle it's about to go in. And Wentz going to snag the rebound for DGN. Oh, great tip pass on the press by Baldridge. Not going to be able to create what looked like the jump ball opportunity as Blast just misses another steal. As DGN's going to reset with Went. Over the C-back. Back to Parker. Parker over to Gross. Back to Went. Although it's a five-point lead, from what we've seen so far today, these Dukes can take it back in what seems like a matter of one possession. Even though it's a 5-point lead right now, it's once they get hot, they get going. Back to Went. Went finds Gross. Gross trying to work on Filosa, makes a move. Good defense by the Dukes. And a good rebound by Powers after what seemed like Wilkerson for the Trojans had it. As Cole's going to bring it up for the Dukes today, not something we've said before. Blast working on Parker. He's going to go over to Cole. Baldridge finds Cole inside. Easy slip pass, easy finish. 30-second timeout for the Dukes. And for what seems like the first time in that second half, that little pick and roll has finally worked. And the Dukes have been able to finish, cutting the lead to 3. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with about 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Your Dukes trail only by 3 to DGN Trojans. For the first time today, it seems like York's not going to let, never mind, my apologies. DGN's going to be able to move the ball past half court and set up in their offense, although York's going to be a little bit more aggressive here on defense. Went trying to find space inside. Finds a little room, and it's going to be short on mid-range, and your Dukes have a chance to tie it right here. We are now under 3 minutes left in the game as Baldridge runs the point. Baldridge over to the senior Powers. Baldridge finds Powers inside, and they're going to get the foul call. And Powers is going to have a chance to cut the lead to 1 here for the Dukes. And she's going to be able to hit 1 and cut the Trojans' lead to 2. Gross trying to bring it up. Great defense by Baldridge. Blast is going to get the steal. She's going to have a fast break. Trailed by Went, and she's going to draw the foul. She's going to have a chance to tie right here for the Dukes. And just like I said earlier, after that timeout, that 5-point lead could be cut down to 0 in what seems like only 1 possession. Blast is going to hit it. And her second to tie the game. It's going to be good. And just like that, we are tied back up with 2 minutes and 16 seconds left in your ball game. Went trying to work on Blast. Blast is going to give her some space and let her set up the offense. Blast over, or my apologies, went over to Gross. Back to Went. And we're going to get a travel called on the Trojans. And it's going to be your Duke's ball. Baldridge bringing it up. Baldridge trying to finish inside. Over to Blast. To the senior Powers. Powers to the freshman Filosa. Back to Cole on the wing. Duke's taking their time here. Tough 3 by Filosa. And that's going to be off. You have a rebound, Trojans, with 1 minute and 27 seconds left in your ball game. We are tied at 40-40. Over to Gross. All the way over to Parker. Back to Went. Went working on the senior Powers. Trojans not able to find anything inside. Great defense so far by the Dukes as we are under a minute with 57 seconds left and counting left in your game. Trojans trying to take their time, not settling for anything right now. That's going to be a tough take. Great defense by the Dukes. This should be rebound Baldridge, and they're going to have a chance to push the floor right here. They've got about a 3-on-3. Baldridge over to Filosa, not taking the 3. Smart choice there by the Dukes. And we are going to have a timeout for the Dukes right before what looked like Filosa stepped out of bounds. But we are going to be tied 40-40 here with 36 seconds left. Your Dukes trying to make a little bit of a revenge game right here after suffering a 12-point loss to the Trojans last time. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. 36 seconds left in the game. Your Dukes to inbound as we are locked at 40-40. And the Trojans are going to be able to get the steal off the inbound. Went making the play. And it looks like we might have a chance to hold for last shot here. Parker on the left wing, guarded by Blass. Parker is able to create separation. She's going to kick it back out to Went. It seems like we're going to have Went settle for the last shot here for the Trojans. Not shocking after performance today, although Cole's going to play great defense on her. And she's going to miss. Great rebound for the Trojans, though. Wherever shot looks like at the buzzer. It's going to be off. Trojans able to get the rebound again. And a great block by Baldridge to seal the tie so far for the Dukes. And we have got a thriller as we are going to be going into overtime here at the Campbell Gym. Your Dukes are tied 40-40 with the Trojans of Downers Grove North. Well, not something I thought I would be sharing, but we are here for your second tip-off of the day and your start of the fifth period here in the Dukes vs. Trojans as we are tied 40-40 going into your first period of overtime. Dukes are going to go with the lineup of Blast, Powers, Cole, Myers, and Baldridge. And your Trojans are going to stick with their usual lineup with Went and Gross running the two guard positions as the Trojans are going to win the tip. Went over to Gross. And Gross back to Went. Over to Fleming. Fleming to Went. Trying to work on Cole. Good defense. Over to Fleming. Over to Parker. Went guarded tough by Powers. Almost loses it there, though Fleming's able to hold on to it. Was able to get it out to Parker. Gross guarded by the sophomore Myers. Now guarded by the junior Marianne Blass. Both having great days today. Oh, great move by Gross to get the open shot. But not able to finish, but is also able to get her own rebound. Timeout DGN. The one thing so far, and what seems like one of the only things that has been killing the Dukes so far today, is their lack of able to get defensive rebounds after Trojan shots. And they've been able to create what seems like 8 points off of second chance opportunities. But we'll be back to you in 30 seconds. 2 minutes, 50 seconds. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in overtime. Still tied 40-40. And we're back here. Your Trojans are going to inbound. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left in overtime. Still tied 40-40 as Went's going to try and find space inside. Gross for 3, and it's going to fall. Your Trojans take a 3-point lead here to start the first period of overtime. Baldridge to bring it up. Baldridge to Myers. Over to Blass. Blast, tough 3. In and out for the junior. Went working on the right wing. Over to Parker. Back to Went. Went back to Parker on the left wing. Trojans, not surprisingly, taking your time as we hit the minute 50 seconds left mark in overtime. Tough 3, great block by Baldridge. That could have been the play that could keep the Dukes in the game. She's going to find space inside, not be able to finish. Well, Powers gets the rebound. Back out to Baldridge. Dukes need a basket here as we hit the minute 30 mark. Baldridge to Myers. Timeout for the Dukes as they're going to figure out a game plan here to try and tie this game. 43-40 Trojans with a minute 25 left in overtime. And after that 30-second timeout, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Your Dukes sticking with the same lineup as Myers tries to inbound. We have a minute 25 left in the game. Your Dukes trail by 3 in overtime. And Baldridge to bring it up for the Dukes. Works inside, out to Myers, the three-point line. Dukes don't have to settle for a 3. And that is it. Cole's gonna finish inside. Up by 1, and it looks like we have an injury for the Trojans. And we are gonna be back after this injury timeout. And that looks like Eleanor Harris, number 31 for the Trojans, is injured, although she's had a hell of a day and is able to walk off on her own. So props to her. But we are going to return here with a minute and 9 seconds left in your game. Dukes trail by 1 after the basket by Cole. Gross to bring it up for the Trojans. She's going to move fast. She's going to go over to Parker with no shot clock at the high school level. Will not be shocked if your Trojans the Trojans just try and hold the ball here. Oh, almost a great play by Cole to get the steal. As Seebeck, who just checked into the game, is going to receive the pass. Over to Parker. Parker's going to take the 3. That's going to be off, but the Dukes not able to get the defensive rebound. I know that was something we preached going in overtime. You've got to be able to get those defensive rebounds. Dukes sadly not able to come with it, although this game is far from over with 41 seconds left on the clock. Really impressive game so far for the Dukes, especially with how this last game went against the Trojans. They've seemingly been able to the entire game, been able to control the ball, control the tempo. Just a little bit of lack of finishing at the free throw line and near the hoop has cost them as they are down 1 with 40.8 seconds left here in the first period of overtime. We'll be back after the timeout. And as we come back from that 30-second timeout with 40 seconds left in the ballgame, no positional changes for either team. As DGN's able to inbound into the corner, we're now under the 40-second mark with a 1-point lead for the Trojans. Parker back to Wendt. Wendt guarded by Blass. Able to find Gross, but almost stolen by Baldridge. And there is going to be a foul call, and it will be 1-on-1 for Gross at the free throw line. And what looks like after the scramble, after the missed free throw, Downers Grove North yet again is able to get the rebounds. and call the timeout. They're going to stay with possession. We'll be back yet again after the timeout. And after that 30-second timeout, we are back. Yet again, what seems like no changes for either side. As with 21.3 seconds left, Downsgrove North is going to inbound to Went, guarded by Powers. York has got to force a turnover or foul here before time runs out. And they're going to foul. It's going to be a tough, it's going to be a tough foul. And Went's going to go to the line for a 1-on-1. But before those free throws, we're going to have a 30-second timeout from the Dukes. We'll be back. And we are back with 12.2 seconds left. The Trojans hold a 1-point lead. However, we're going to have Gross at the free throw line to take a 1-on-1. And it's going to miss. It's going to be rebound for the Dukes. They're going to push it up the floor with 8 seconds left. They got to find a way to get to the hoop and score a basket. Baldridge to Myers in the corner for the win. In and out. And the Dukes are not able to pull off the upset. And after a great... and after a stunner here at the Campbell Gym, the Dukes fall short by 1 to the Trojans. A great game played by both sides. I'm Charlie Specht for York Sports Network. Signing off. Thank you for tuning in.